Hello and welcome, race fans, into Championship Tuesday at night, where all season long they've been battling for this moment, the final race of the season here at the HCK Beagles Racing League. And what other way to finish it on off? Well, we're one of the tracks where it all started, here at Talladega, for 50 laps of some great high-flying speed pack racing that we've known to grow and love over here. And it's all on the wire for picking up that big win, picking up some big change here as well. So we'll just have to let the drivers do the talking here and get this party all started with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And welcome back. As always, we have to say a huge thank you to the proud race supporters here of the HCK Beagles Racing League, like tonight's race sponsor, Asphalt, Outlaws Racing. Fantastic little kind of the short track Saturday night action that you love. And over there on those Asphalt, I think they do like late models or something like that. Absolutely fantastic stuff over there. So big thank you to Asphalt Outlaws Racing for jumping on over here and sponsoring tonight's race. And of course, we also have to say a huge thank you to the other great sponsors like Abruzzi Racewear. Some fantastic apparel there for all your racing needs, whether it's for real life or sim racing, whether it be gloves or shoes, all the way up to helmets and, you know, the whole overall gear, like all that kind of stuff. Be sure to head on over to Abruzzi Racewear and get yourself all kitted out today. Of course, we have to say a big thank you as well to TrackDogsRacing.com, the premier merchandising supplier of the HCK Beagles Racing League and AAA Broadcasting. Big thank you to them. Be sure to go get some your casual wear all decked on out with your favorite driver and all that kind of stuff, all over there from TrackDogsRacing.com. Of course, big thank you as well to Chiefland RC Raceway down there in Florida. Be sure to go check them on out if you're into the RC race car kind of stuff, or maybe even kind of maybe saw a video of it online somewhere, like, man, I'd really like to get into it. Well, go check them on out. They got a whole great setup going on down there with all the cars and parts that you could possibly need. So be sure to go and check out our Chiefland RC Raceway. Of course, we have to also thank Sonic Graphic Design. Some fantastic paint schemes coming out of that booth every single day. Be sure to go check them on out and get yourself a customized paint scheme here today. Of course, we also have to say a huge thank you to AdminBoxx, the premier button box solution for race control and admins, where at the push of a button they can do black flags, they can do wave arounds, they can throw yellows, they can do whatever they need to do, all at the reach of their fingertips. So big thank you to AdminBoxx. Be sure to get you or your league's admin one here today. As always, I and pressing buttons, but nothing's reacting. There we go. I am Alan Brown, and I am joined by the Brewmaster in general, Mr. Alan English, here tonight at Talladega. And English, I know this is going to be our last race here at the HCK Beagles Racing League, and it's going to be a little bit of a sad time, but, you know, championship race, and it's all going back to where it all started here at Talladega.
Yeah, man, this is one of those tracks where anything can happen here. 2 3/4 or 2 2/3 of a mile, and pretty decent truck count out there tonight. We got about 22 folks registered tonight. Not everybody has made a qualifying lap out here, but we'll see what happens here. It's a little bit bittersweet, you know, being the last race here in the one of the leagues that pretty much gave us our start as a broadcast team. So definitely big thanks to HCK Beagles and the Gregory Turner and all the admins over there, and for making it such a great time over the past couple of years here. So big thanks to those guys, and looking forward to a great finale here tonight.
And that indeed we are. It's down there on pit road for the final time here over on Tuesday at nights. Mr. Adam Turner, our anger management specialist himself, all locked in and loaded and ready to go. And Adam, oh man, Dega, talk about a dice roll here. It doesn't matter how many points you might have comfortably in the lead until you're guaranteed a lock, man. Anything can happen.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter here. You can just throw out the talent and everything. Anybody can win. Chump to champ, champ to chump in no time. Normally, who's coming out of 4 as the leader on the final lap does not win the race. We've seen sometimes where it happens, but I would say 80% of the time that's the case. So kind of ride it out. Be in the middle, be in the back, be in the top 10, be on the lead lap. That's all that really matters here. Have some fun. This is a championship race. I think the championship, you'll talk about who's in that, but there's still points to be made. There's still fun to be had. Final race. Let's do this. You know, I'm trying to get off the angry thing. I'm trying to be happy tonight. So let's have some fun out here racing. Here's the rules. 1 fast repair, 75% fuel, unlimited tires. There will be no DQs for incident points. Big problem on the track though. It's a little hot. 129.
Ooh, that's not a little hot.
It's Mars hot almost, you know.
Mars is cold.
Melt some tires. Well, not when the sun's on. I thought it was hot. Whatever. One of those planets. I don't care. What do you think? I'm some kind of scientist?
Sure,
Man.
I thought you were the science, isn't that what you?
I am the science. That's what the guy that made us wear masks and shoved a bunch of lies down our throats said. Not tonight. Not anymore. We're done with that. Let's do this.
Let's do it indeed as we take a look here at tonight's race info from Talladega, where these drivers are going to have some beautiful weather out there, albeit a little hot and steamy. Either way, they're going to have a fantastic time driving around here in the sunshine, bringing it down to tonight's key to the race. And oh boy, it's the final time to make it shine. Your final chance to pick up the race win. I know, like, even if you're not part of the championship or anything like that, there's a little bit of extra money on the line here tonight if you pick up a win. So it's your final time to really get a good finish here this season.
And this track is completely draft dependent. Don't get out by yourself somewhere without a partner, because you're not going to make it very far. Your speeds are going to be consistently probably 15, 20 miles an hour slower than the guys that have drafting partners here. Aerodynamics is the name of the game here at Talladega, and hopefully all these guys realize that and practiced a little bit with their teammates and maybe some other guys. Also practice those green flag pit stops, because as we all know, the time when you don't think you need to practice those and you're going to use them are the times you're going to have to use them. So hopefully these guys did a little bit of practicing there, and looks like we got a couple of guys, a couple of stragglers here yet to turn a lap. They may just be starting in the back like me and Adam used to like to do.
Oh yeah, you can start in the back, no problem. Here, this is a track built for a team like Team America. They really thrive in this environment. Some of these other teams, maybe they've learned their lesson from Team America, like Dialed In Racing. Maybe they got a lot of cars with Haas Beverly, Mark Beverly, Gardner Somers, and Tyler Beverly. Man, that's a lot of Beverlys. I can't.
It's a family affair.
It's a gang, is what that is right there. And aren't they from Ohio?
I think so.
Yeah, that's scary to me. I'm not going to say anything bad about those three guys. It's a
Sure.
dangerous proposition. Not the grid here, though.
And that indeed we are, as the field starts to line on up here and get their trucks all fired on up and warmed on up, which means we need to send it on down there and tell everybody where their favorite driver is going to start here tonight. You got the 329 of America's driver, Albert Anderson, picking up pole position, stealing one away from that 51 of...
That was a dead tie, Alan.
Was it a dead tie?
56.027 for both drivers. It must have went to the 10,000th spot, but we don't get to see that deep on iRacing. That's the closest finish or start for the pole I've ever seen.
Oh man, so very tough fight for the pole position. Joshua Moore getting second place starting spots here tonight. You got the 16 of Mr. Nick Gardner fighting for that championship here tonight, getting things started off in third. The 7 of Brett Somers having a pretty good starting spot in fourth here this evening. 42 Kevin Winker, he's not completely out of it just yet. He's going to start here tonight in fifth. The 22 of Haas, the boss Beverly, getting things started here in that 22 machine in sixth. 13 of Mark Beverly, your current points leader, just looking for a good casual finish here to basically lock in his championship here tonight, getting things started in seventh. The 1 of Nate Cogdale having a pretty good spot here in eighth. The 15 of Cody Staten, he's going to be starting there in ninth with the other half of the Staten clan. You got Zachary Staten in the 88, rounding out the field's top 10.
Ooh, starting side by side in row 5. Very nice. 34 of Jesse Calloway will start in 11th place. Outside row number 6 will be Eric Stoy in the 4. The 39 of Joshua Freed will start inside row number 7. 14th place will be Stephen Naylor in the 5. 64 of Cale Turbeville starts in 15th place here tonight. And 16th will be Jake Bunjo in the 86. J.A. Burton in the 26, starting in 17th place. Outside row number 9, Frank Ranger in the 17. Tyler Beverly in the 45 starts 19th. Rounding out your top 20, Andrew Hansley, the 4th in the 24. And looks like row number 11, the 113, Michael Newton, and the 87 of Jonathan Herbert. I believe Mike Newton is our race control. Logged in as a driver, but I think, yeah. Okay, cool. So thanks, Mike, for joining us and doing race control. It's not an easy job. He's done a lot of it this season.
Right, that indeed he has. As the field gets all lined up behind this pace truck, we get to talk to tonight's pole award winner from AdminBoxx. That is America's driver, Mr. Albert Anderson out there. No teammates here tonight, Albert. Gonna get things started off on that front row. What do you expect for about these 50 laps?
It should be pretty calm. These guys do a pretty good job at just running running a calm race early on. Just gonna, I'm here solo. I don't have any teammates with me tonight. So I'm just gonna try to hook on to the fastest truck and we'll see what happens.
Well, dance with who you can out there here tonight, Albert. Glad that you decided to come and race this finale race here tonight. Joshua Moore, you guys had a dead tie for qualifying times as far as our screen could tell. I know iRacing goes to the 10,000th place on seconds, but we were unable to see that. But you beat Josh Moore, and he's been like the darling of the qualifying session here for another season.
Yeah, I mean, Joshua Moore is always fast. When it comes to qualifying, I mean, he's the rocket man, hands down. He's one heck of a qualifier. That whole team over there, Team America, they do a good job. They work together really well. And I expect to see all of those guys up front here, especially at the end of the night.
Man, America's driver, Albert Anderson, this paint job you got is beautiful. I love the chrome. I love the America. I got a suggestion on the back tailgate there. Something derogatory about Bill Gates. If you could do that for me, that'd be the perfect paint scheme.
Hey, Adam, for you, I will make it happen.
All right. Hey, good
Fine
luck.
farmland.
Be careful out there, man. Good luck. Have some fun.
All right, guys. Thanks. We'll see you.
Get them back down, and the field starts to continue to wrap around. Let's let everybody know exactly where the points do stand. Let me find my proper screen, where if you head on over to HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com, you can see a whole bunch of info, like meet our drivers, meet the admins. So you can even send them some messages and subscribe to like an email list or something like that. But even more importantly, you can go and click directly on the standings, where you can currently see Mark Beverly 16 points clear Nick Gardner right now, and he's, like I said, almost has that one locked on up. Not quite yet. There's enough drivers in here where if he doesn't get a good finish tonight, it could definitely shake things on up in that aspect. Same thing with Kevin Winker. He's about 20 points back. Definitely be on the lookout for him to be on the hunt and the prowl here this evening. The battle for 11th, man, that thing is still tighter than ever. 8 points separate Josh Freed and Cody Staten for that bonus prize of getting some free entry into the next season.
Ooh, that'll be a fun one too. I don't know how we'll keep track of that one. Those guys probably can't even keep track of that, so that'll be fun. They're just going to run it until they can win the 11th place spot here. And let's do this. This is such a long run here, Brown, to the start and finish. It's kind of crazy. You get excited, but still got a ways to go right here.
I know, it gets all the like anticipation just built up until, man, you just can't build it up on anymore. As the pace car peels off down onto pit road, the field entering that Geico restart zone for the first time here tonight, where the green flag awaits them, and away they go. Green flag racing here at Talladega. Side by side they go, boogieing down into turns 1 and 2, where the 329 and the 51 match up side by side. The 16 up there as well, trying to get the race win here tonight and give him his best shot at picking up that championship and stealing it away from Mark Beverly. The 7 is up there on that high side, giving a good push to the 51. He's got the 42 on his back bumper as well, getting that top side all lined on up and trying to get these freight trains rolling. You also got the 1 and Nate Cogdell up there on the outside lane, trying to play bookend to the 22 of Haas Beverly, trying to keep that line all together. And then you get a little bit of a gap on that outside lane. Meanwhile, there goes the 42, Kevin Winker. Oh, looks like he was trying to break on out and make it 3 wide here early, but not quite ready to do so just yet. Doesn't have the help, doesn't have the numbers to quite do it here, as the field comes back around, crosses the line. Lap number 1 officially in the books.
You might be saying it's a little bit early to be going 3 wide here at Talladega, but this is such a wide track. You can do it safely here. However, you know, a lot of time that third line, if you don't have any help going with you, it's not going to go anywhere, and you're going to end up filtering back into line number 2 there.
As you can see, using a little bit of that shake and bake action, the 42 and the 51 tag teaming on up on that outside lane. Unfortunately, though, it's just the 2 of them. We have seen tandems do well here, but I don't know this early on if they're going to be able to do that well, as I don't think people are really all that willing to really side draft all that close right now. And you can kind of see their run not really going anywhere. It's kind of stalled out. It's not going forward, but it's really not going backwards either.
Yeah, the Muehlberger Custom Homes machines, the 42 and the 18... Not the 18, the 51 of Moore, I'm sorry. Running that outside line, trying to make it work. It's like one of the Staten boys might be moving up here to help him.
He is 15.
Cody Staten, yeah.
And
Here comes his brother, maybe.
I was going to say, coming up from the depths, the 88 going from down low back to the middle, back up to outside. So Team America all linking on up on that far outside lane. I know tower operator and Bruce Muehlberger is happy to see that one. He's sitting in their chat. He did mute his mic by the looks of it there, so he's gonna let the boys do their thing and get to work. And look at that! Once when they added the 4th truck up there, fellas, that outside lane really started rolling.
Well, they got the teamwork to make it happen. Unfortunately for Albert, like he said, he's out here by himself. he's going to have to pick a couple friends to go against these guys. I mean, they see what they're doing here. They're dominating 2 lines, and I guarantee you they're going to try to dominate the whole front row here in a minute.
Well, that's kind of been their strategy here the past season or two, is controlling both lines here at these restrictor plate pack racing type tracks. I want to thank everybody for joining us over there in the YouTube chat here tonight. Ryan Peterson, Tower Operator, KW42, Carol Hansley pulling for Andrew in the 24, and then Tower Operator congratulating Alan on making sure the music was turned off. Thank you for that. Shauna Flick here pulling for Team America, and of course the number 42 of Kevin Winker.
As we ride here with the man with the best name in iRacing, Mr. Jake Bunjo, in the 86 machine, kind of in the middle of the pack here, currently riding around on that outside lane, keeping things all locked in, nice and tidy.
How long is it going to stay like this, fellas, where we got civilized 2-wide racing throughout most of the field? You know, we've seen a little bit of 3-wide action, but it's quickly reduced back down to 2. I mean, this is not a super long race here, guys. It's only 50 laps.
I think we'll see it for till probably lap 40, maybe. And that's when you're just going to see mayhem.
Oh, I think lap 25.
25, you think?
I think right around when the first round of pit stops is going to be happening. That's when it's going to, all heck is going to start breaking loose.
You could be right, but right now they just look professional and tidy. No problems out there. Can't even really be mad at anybody at this point in the race.
Now looking at our scoring here, we've got a couple of guys on the move. It looks like Jonathan Herbert so far, your biggest mover here, up 7 spots in that 87 Chevrolet. Check that, 6 spots as Jake Bunjo makes his way around the 87. But several other guys moving up as well. Eric Stoy in the 4, up 5.
And a lot of positions to be had for certain. The one of Nate Cogdell, though, on the back end of that. Same thing with that 13 of Mark Beverly. Both dropping back double digits, 10 and 12 spots from where they started here tonight. But I also like that. I like that call, especially for Mark Beverly, where he's just trying to get a good finish here tonight. He doesn't necessarily have to win, but I'm for almost certain, you know, the top 10 basically locks him in as your season champion. And the only way to really get there is make sure that you're there at the end.
Adam, I don't know if a DNF by him would really hurt him unless the second place driver finished ahead of him or near the front. It's going to take something like that, I think, for him to get knocked off that top rung.
Yeah, and we're not going to see that. I think he's pretty much locked it in. I mean, unless some crazy thing like, you know, some idiot getting elected happens, I think he's going to win this thing, you know. Unless they steal it in the middle of the night, I think this is his, and he can just ride around and be safe, win it, you know. That'd be my thought process here.
I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah, man, I remember one time, like in 1987, I almost burned the house down with a grease fire. I really feel what you guys are feeling out there in Hawaii. I mean, that's kind of what I heard today. What a disgrace that's going on in America. Pray for Hawaii, pray for this country. We are going down the tubes in a heartbeat.
Did you try to put a cheesy pita in a toaster oven or something? Is that what happened?
I think I was just trying to fry something up, you know. Probably trying to fry some chicken on my own when I was about 10. It was wild in the 80s. Nobody cared. But here's the deal. America is going down the tubes, but iRacing ain't. This is what the one thing we have until we get banned from this. So let's have some fun here tonight.
That we are. As we go back to the 3 wide, you got Haas Beverly there in the middle as that bottom lane starts to drive away. As it was kind of getting all kind of slicey and dicey. Everyone trying to pick and choose and bob and weave through their lanes, kind of separating the field and creating some space and some gaps here, and that's why that bottom lane really working well together here, all lined on up, starts to pull ahead as that top side train of Team America starts to push ahead, trying to get out in front of that 12 machine to make it back down to that 2 wide, but not quite able to get there.
Yeah, I'm watching other spots in the track, but I always come back to Team America. They're all running nose to tail when they normally like running, side by side and trying to control all these lines here. But they're not able to do it here tonight. They're running nose to tail. All right, yeah, company over at the house.
Oh, sorry, I had the mute on, guys. I was trying to respond.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. I can't
Unmute
say what
yourself,
I'm screaming at
Eric.
the TV. I'm screaming here. What
Scrimmel.
I think they're just having such a nice run. And Brown, you're thinking about 25. They'll come down and split this thing in half.
I think so. I think that's probably going to be the thing. I mean, these things typically right around the 25, somewhere between 25 and 30s when we normally see these guys pit anyway at these super speedways, especially in the trucks. But we'll just have to see how it all plays on out. Again, I would personally try to run it all the way until that tank's pretty much dry, so that way, when you load back up on fuel, just in case something does happen on the, on the back end of things, you've got enough to at least finish it.
Yahtzee.
Oh, man, that's a little early in this race. We're at lap 12. I have seen nothing out of the ordinary here, Brown. I'm just trying to see somebody fight with somebody, but it really hadn't happened. They're just being very patient at this point.
Yeah, that they are, and it looks like 13 Mark Beverly was trying to maybe make a little bit of a charge and get his nose back up there in the mix, but he immediately drops right back on out to the tail end of the field where Andrew Hansley is kind of holding down the fort there, making sure nobody falls too far behind and gets out of the draft.
Sorry, guys. I had company over at the house and they just left, so.
Well, don't they know this is work night?
It's a friend of mine from work, a family friend who I also work with, who's a hairdresser, and she came over to my wife's house.
Oh. Well, that's nice.
Sure.
Well, it's also nice to get your hair done, like, I'm English, you know what I'm talking about, when you wake up and you put on the hat and that's your hair done.
Yeah.
Well, I say done. I was trying to be nice. She was getting colored. Because
Ain't nothing wrong with getting a color. You'd see people walking around looking like a dang rainbow these days.
Well, no, it's just her natural color.
Yeah.
Because her natural color ran out, I guess. And now it's just making white ones.
don't stop
something thrown at me.
If she's listening to you, you can get hurt right there.
Sure. It's stab, man.
Yeah, don't mess around with that. I mean, people run around the streets around here with like blue hair. It's like a common thing,
Sure, yeah.
Orange
Green.
hair. What's wrong with these people? It's like they don't even pay attention to what's happening in America. Well, don't waste your money on coloring your hair. Waste your money on figuring out what's happening here in this country. It's going straight down the tubes. And that's because you're not paying attention. You're coloring your hair.
Read some Dave Ramsey, damn it.
Well, I mean, read something.
Ooh, boy, we're getting ourselves some interesting stuff going on up here at the front. 51 Joshua Moore is starting to have a little blinking issue there. Meanwhile, the 16, I haven't seen that thing leave a gap bigger than 1/4 of an inch on that 51's bumper.
No. He's doing a great job up there pushing, and so far it looks like the 45 truck, Tyler Beverly, with your fastest lap of the race here so far, 51.373. And, the fastest lap matters for a split second, and then it doesn't matter anymore because the momentum has shifted to another lane. It's like we got one riding on the outside line trying to get some folks to go with him. That's the 45 that we were just talking about. Moves back down into lane number 2 because nobody went with him.
Well, again, we're also, I think, still early enough that
Sure, yeah.
test the waters. 35 laps to go, still a bunch of time, still some pit stops. Find out who's actually willing to jump up there with you. Find out, maybe I'll work with these guys later on in this race.
That's a great point. Maybe somebody will go with you.
Yeah,
We have pretty much everybody in the lead lap or on the lead pack, right?
yeah. Oh, everybody's still there. Yep.
Perfect. That's awesome. That's the best part. Like, even Hansley sitting there in 21st. This isn't a bad spot in that 24 truck. I mean, I'd like to be right where he is if I was out here on this track.
Nobody behind him, everybody in front of him. If something happens, he's got some time that he can react and jump on those brakes for.
Exactly.
Yeah, I also agree. I also love riding in the back, maybe more like, I don't want to say the very back, but pretty much close to it, and just 3/4 throttle it. Just maintain, the 2/10, 3/10 of a second right off the guy in front of me's bumper. And that's all you got to do. Next thing you know, you're saving fuel, you're saving tires, you're just cruising around. You're not stressed out. You can actually get a drink of your water. You can, relax your hands a little bit, and then when it's go time, it's go time.
Yeah, man, you don't have to be too stressed out this early. Just kind of ride around and, like you said, test the waters and kind of see who are the guys that are going to go with me here at the end. Can I do something to maybe help them out and maybe score some points with them?
Albert said there's a checkup on the bottom. I don't see any issues happening from that. What I like about Talladega is, like, I can just, like, have one beer in my hand, drive with my left hand, maybe have my cellular phone device. I could talk to my friends, That's what I like about this track.
That's the 45 had a pretty good run there. Got his teammate there in the 13, jumped on up to that far outside lane to help him. They moved up quite a few spots, moving up this field. Now it looks like, I believe that's Jonathan Herbert in that 87. He wants to do the same thing. Problem is no one's up there anymore to help him on out. You also got the 64 Cale Turboville in his Klondike machine out here roaming around. He's tucked in behind that 12 machine as, oh boy, here we go, fellas. Lap 18. We're seeing people come on down into the pits.
That's Team America right there. They always have a little different strategy. Did you hear him on the radio there, English?
I did not.
So the guys behind Team America weren't real happy with their technique, let's just put it that way. And they had a little talking to on the radio, but Team America's not listening to that. They're going to do their thing. Albert Anderson, is that him coming down to join them?
That it was, and it was a good call, especially if he knows that, hey, Team America's got the numbers.
All alone.
He's all alone. If that team's got the numbers, man, I'm just going to mirror what they do.
And he's got an American flag, so they probably like him. So let's do this. And all those Muhleberger Custom Homes paints, Winker and the Staten boys. Let's see.
More?
Yeah, more, and then now you got Albert Anderson.
No, and it looks like Herbert all by himself coming into the pits, and he loses it on pit road. He's all sideways down there, slipping and sliding, getting on those brakes.
Didn't cost him a black flag, at least not one that I'm seeing yet.
Well, especially if he's got damage, why kick a guy when he's down already?
Well, it's the computer that kicks you.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the computer. Well, AI is supposed to be smart, right? It needs to get more intelligent.
I use AI for everything now. They're just it's taken over the world. Let's just go with whatever AI says now. It's
So
like
is it getting to the
Terminator.
point where if you want to find a criminal, you say, "Hey, where's
No, I don't think it's that good. No.
Jeffrey Jenkins?" And it can say, he's at the mall playing video games at the arcade.
That's not applicable yet.
He's
But
playing Pac-Man at the
if you want to
arcade.
ask it a serious question, you know, you
That
can
is
answer it.
be a serious question.
Well, like an academic style question, let's say.
Ah, okay.
I mean, if you want to really delve into a book and you don't understand the concept because you're stupid, you could Google it on the chat.
What's the Scarlet Letter
GPT.
really about?
There you go. You could do that. Yeah, it'll
Okay.
give you that in layman's terms. Kind of like, you know, that yellow book you could used to get the Cliff Notes version. It's
Cliff
kinda
Notes.
yeah, kind of what that is.
I had a few of those.
Yeah,
Basically told you what was going to be on the test.
yeah, that'd be cool.
The last time I ever heard a yellow book was a phone book.
Yeah, that was a thing too. Remember those things?
Sure. When people
The
had
best
phones.
phone book story is when Navin Johnson got the phone book and he said he was going to be somebody someday. And then that guy started shooting at him. If you don't know what I'm referencing, then
I
you're not
don't.
old enough. The Jerk.
Oh.
The movie
Steve
The
Martin?
Jerk. Yes.
I'm still lost.
Well, you should probably watch that one. It's actually good.
Did it come out before '93?
Oh, wait. wait.
Oh yeah.
Oh well, then yeah, I definitely haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking before 79. I think it was
No, it's not that old.
83. 83.
Something like that, yeah. Around Ghostbusters, 84, 83. So. Ghostbusters, I think, was 85.
Eric Welch is here. Oh, look at
What?
that. Doesn't he have like stuff to do? I mean, thanks for hanging out with us, though.
He's gotta have his nurse come over and change his wound gauze and all that kind of stuff
Oh gosh.
on his severed leg.
Oof.
It isn't severed. It's just beat up.
Oh, okay. I thought it was.
I thought it was like he got it hung in like a wood chipper or something.
Yeah, that's what he made it sound like. You know, he said
More pit
Yeah.
stops.
that was a sawmill incident or something.
Ooh, some people locking it on up. We gotta watch out for those speeding penalties, but for the most part, really no drama there. Nice and smooth entries, but we're also a little scattered here as people trying to make their way from the right-hand side back to the left here on the pit road. And again, looks like everybody doing just that. And I didn't see anybody slide through their pit stop at all either. So some fantastic job there, fellas.
They're
So they're
putting
gonna
on a
have to be-
show.
They're going to have to be careful on the way out that they don't speed on the way out or they don't cross that line up into the main track as they're trying to rejoin, because then they're going to have to come back down all over again, and they're for sure going to lose lap there.
Yeah. Don't want to lose a lap at this point.
Here comes another group.
And it's the final two takers of Josh Freed and Jake Bunjo making their way on down into the pits. Meanwhile, here comes Team America and some change coming around some of the guys that had just recently pitted as everybody starts to get all grouped back on around and back together here as we're approaching the halfway point here of this race.
Derek Welch, I saw a thing about the Civil War. You know, they said that if it starts to smell like cheese, your wound, you know, that's gangrene, and they're going to have to keep cutting.
Oh my
Until-
God.
Well, I'm just
No.
saying.
What-
Derek needs
what-
to know this.
It's
I don't know if
2023. We have
Doctors
medical
don't always
professionals.
tell you everything. They
Well,
don't
they're
always
trying.
tell
They
you.
are trying to get rid of us with population control, but I don't know if they're going to start
Well, I'm
with
just
his
saying
leg.
that what's left of his leg, you know, if it starts to smell funny, they tell him, say, hey, man, go ahead, chop it again here. Or
Oh,
I'm not
no.
really sure on the details.
Yeah, you're not. You're
Derek says he's done. he's gonna.
you
he's
just
gonna-
lost a viewer. Thank you. Well, the
Tyler-
rest of you hit the
Tyler
buttons.
Beverly, Black Flag. Sorry.
Uh-oh. Hit the buttons, like and subscribe. We like to have a lot of fun. We like watching racing, and this is what we're doing here. Right now, clean race, so we don't have too much to talk about, Brown, but I'm sure we're about to as everybody bunches back up.
And that indeed, everyone's starting to slowly group back on up. You got the 34 Jesse Calloway with Haas Beverly, Nate Cogdale, and Cale Turbeville all working together here, trying to close up that 5-second gap up to Mark Beverly, who has jumped on to that main pack. That's exactly how he wanted things to go. Then you got Steven Naylor kind of out in no man's land right now. Eventually he will find somebody to drive around there with. Same thing with the 17 of Frank Ranger. He's getting teamed on up there with the 24 of Andrew Hansley to catch back on up here as well. In the meantime, though, the 88 of Zach Staten guiding this field on around with 25 laps left to go.
A few folks that we failed to mention here: Joel Moore pulling for Joshua Moore in the number 51 out there tonight. Matt Bunjo pulling for Stealth Motorsports. Tommy Welch out there saying NTRL is in the house here tonight. And Beverly Rapp pulling for the 51, of course. And Weston Abels joining us, pulling for the 88 of Staten. Thank you so much for being here, Weston.
Yeah,
poor Derek.
championship race.
Poor Derek was trying to eat a hamburger when we were talking about his bum leg. And
Well, he's the one with the leg. I mean, if he smells cheese, it's either the hamburger or his leg. You're going to have to decipher which one.
I don't know what kind of cheese. Like, is it smell like Parmesan or Limburger or what? What does gangrene smell like? I really
don't
know.
want to Google it either. That's pretty gross. I'm just going to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm concerned. Okay, we should drop it. Yeah, we should drop it before they drop us.
Yeah, we don't want to be banned from anything. I'm tired of getting banned. I've been shadow banned across several states because of my thoughts and beliefs, on freedom. So let's just have fun here. Let these guys punch it out right here with lap 28, and almost working as hard as the real Mrs. Poindexter here tonight.
Whoa, throwback.
Yahtzee.
He did triple Yahtzee.
He did. He definitely threw the dice on down on that one. Speaking of throwing the dice on down, let's go ahead and take a quick step aside and have a huge thank you for one of our sponsors. The last time we're going to see this ad being played, so I made a whole bunch of laughs, but sit tight. We'll be back with the action here in just a moment. And welcome back as the action continues here at Talladega, approaching the 20 laps to go. Zach Staten, Kevin Winker, Cody Staten, Albert Anderson, and Joshua Moore all tucked into a line with Brett Sommers, Nick Gardner, Eric Stoy, and Mark Beverly. And then about 6 seconds behind them, closing into 7 seconds here. Actually, they're falling back a little bit. You got Jesse Calloway, Nate Cogdell, Cale Turbeville, Jake Bunjo, Josh Freed, Haas Beverly all teamed on up. Then you got Frank Ranger, Steven Naylor, and Andrew Hansley jumped on into a group there themselves. Jay Burton currently driving around, unfortunately all by his lonesome. Jonathan Herbert in the same situation. And the 45 of Tyler Beverly still stuck down on the pits.
Well, Jonathan Herbert's situation, he could be helped out if we do get a yellow here. He is in line to get the lucky dog wave around here. If we do get a caution here soon, he is the only truck one lap down, so he's not really racing anybody except for, maybe the leader behind him, but not racing anybody else there on the track. So hopefully Jonathan can get some kind of relief here in the form of a caution before the end of this race, so we can get back on the lead lap and be in contention for the win. Because as we all know, if you're on the lead lap and it's lap number 50 in this case, the last lap, you've got a shot at winning. You really do.
Oh, you absolutely do. Especially, you know, now I'm putting if in italicized and quotation marks and
Double capital.
yeah, you know, there's a late yellow, then yeah, really anything can most definitely happen. But what I'm more concerned about here there, Mr. English, is basically seeing everybody come on down by lap 24. Does that mean they may not have enough fuel to make it to the end?
I think that means it's going to be a two-stop race. Now, where these guys decide to take that second stop, it's going to be dependent. Well, here comes Team America, plus a few extras, including Albert Anderson and the 4 of Eric Stoy. Oh, man.
Oof.
Dude, a couple of these guys might be busted for speed. Nothing so far. I think they're good.
It's man, we were. I was gonna say, just speak of the devil, and it shall appear. We got ourselves some final round of green flag pit stops here with about 18 laps left to go. With Team America making their way on down and in with a couple in change in tow. You also got Brett Somers, Nick Gardner, and Mark Beverly still out in front, but that 3-car pack trying to stay out in front currently with a 5-second lead over that chase pack led by the 34 of Jesse Calloway here. Definitely kind of looking like they're just trying to catch on up, and this would be a good chance to catch on up where they now have the numbers in that chase pack.
It's strength in numbers. That's the name of the game here at Talladega, especially with a drafty platform like this this truck series truck that we have running here. So yeah, man, get together, make something happen, and make that gap up and catch that lead pack. They can do it.
Yeah, they most definitely can, as we got Winker and company coming on out of the pits. My question is, if you're like Josh Freed right now, who's kind of sitting in this chase pack, do you try your best to save some fuel, maybe add a little bit of clutch in some of these corners, do whatever you have to do? Because as of right now, you know, they're a little ways in front of where Kevin Winker is, you know, by about 30 seconds. He doesn't necessarily need to be the fastest on that final lap. He just needs to be first.
I'd find a car that was slower, maybe, or somebody else that was by themselves, and just try to run tandem with them for a while just to save a little gas. You know, make sure you're behind them. But yeah, man, I'm all about the saving fuel there. That's smart policy, no matter what point in the race it is, because all that stuff can move to the left or the right. You know what I mean? With the way these cautions fall. So only time will tell. We don't really know what's going to happen here with the cautions. But
Well, we're hoping for some aggression.
absolutely.
Go ahead.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kristen Van Ness, for joining us. Weston Abels pulling for his man Zach out there, and tower operator Bruce Muehlberger welcoming Weston to our family here, saying go number 88.
Oh, yeah. Tower
Sure.
operator ought to be in chat yelling at his drivers right now. Guess he's going to give him a break till after the race.
Kristen Van Ness says, let's go, Zach and Cody. Mom's rooting for you and all of Team America. Oh, that's cool. The Staten boys. Your mom pulling for him out there and the rest of the team. That's awesome. It's a family affair here at
That's a
HCK Beagles Racing League.
Those guys are a gang. You got to watch out.
It's not a
They're
gang, man.
they're a
It's-
gang. The Beverly guys are
Oh,
a gang.
my
I'm
goodness.
scared of these people. Gang up on us.
And they're all Ohio boys.
They're just families. They might be feuding, but
Yeah. Hatfields and
Hatfields
McCoys.
and McCoys.
And they're all from Ohio?
Hmm.
There's a lot of fighting up in Ohio. I've seen it on the interweb, and I've actually heard it on the iRacing machine. I know we've told that story about the one Ohio
Oh,
guy
yeah, the
wanted
one
to
guy
cross the
from
river,
Medley.
and he wanted to beat somebody up over iRacing thing.
Yeah, and the other person was just happened to be a minor, I think. So,
Well, I mean, I think he was
That would've been
17. It wasn't like
well, yeah.
it wasn't like a
still-
12-year-old. Probably was illegal.
It probably was, but either way, got some more pit stops happening here as Brett Saunders, Steven Naylor, and Frank Ranger make their way on down into pit road. Meanwhile, the one of Nate Cogdell, he's not one to sit around. He is all over that back bumper of the 34 of Jesse Calloway, making sure he keeps the pace on up here. Ooh, a little loosey-goosey as they come back down across the line.
Brett Somers, black flag. Looks like he just got it cleared.
Ooh.
I'm sitting there for a while, I believe. Mike Adams is joining us over there on the YouTube landscape. Let's go. Albert and Team All-Star. America's driver. And Connor Whitlock joining us, saying Staten is him. Staten is him. Both Statens are them. Zach is him and Cody is him.
What does
And
that
they are
mean?
them. Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to explain it to the folks.
We don't do pronouns here.
Explain to the folks who the Staten brothers are.
What? You should totally make a Dr. Seuss style book about that. The way you did that was pretty good.
He is him and they are them, and
Oh.
they're following Kevin Winker right now. The Staten brothers
Ooh.
are doing a pretty damn good job running that outside line. They got Albert
Yeah.
Anderson right behind him, but yeah, they're behind K-Dub up there. Kevin
Yeah.
Winker.
Albert is like the honorary member tonight, looks like.
Josh Moore is behind the 4 of Stoy. Stoy is behind Albert Anderson. They're now running on the outside line. Looks like they're trying to reunite the team here, getting the band back together. They're on a mission from God, trying to make this happen.
They're about
Be part of their
26 seconds behind the current front pack here. Of course, we're all on total different pit cycles as we're approaching the 10 laps to go mark. 11 laps to go this time as they cross that line. Albert Anderson working alongside the 4 machine here up on top of the 42, going side by side. Some 2 wide action here. And boy, geez, they are really eating into that margin here. Go ahead and take a quick look at the last lap from Josh Freed, who's kind of on the tail end of this front pack to where Winker is. And yeah, they're running a lot quicker. I mean, we're talking 2-3 seconds quicker on the last lap.
Yeah, that's huge. Look at him flying around the outside here.
Going
Get a little crowded there.
going 3 wide. You can tell the tensions are starting to get up there as the 42 gets turned around.
Oh, team on team violence.
K-Dub didn't hit anything besides bumping into another car, so maybe he's okay.
But that will also take him out of that draft as he tries to get all spun around there on the apron. We remain green flag racing here as all the kind of incident and kerfuffle went on down low and stayed off of the track. Meanwhile, you got the 51 of Joshua Moore still up in there, riding behind the 4 and that 329 of Albert Anderson. Let's go ahead and quickly take a look back at exactly what happened with Winker here, who I think just maybe bumper's not quite lined up with a teammate. Oh yeah, little bit of a bobble up there up at the front, drifted up high. The 15 was starting to give him a little bit of a push to the quarter, and there goes the hook. Now the 7 of Brett Somers getting involved in it too, but Somers with a great save to keep it off of that inside wall.
He's trying to stay alive, trying to get that lap back. Still. And, he's got to fight a few more people now. It looks like Hansley, Naylor, and Frank Ranger and J.A. Burton all in front of him now for the Lucky Dog. So, man, Brett Somers got a tall hill to climb. And
that he most definitely does, and for the most part, he's going to be working all by himself as well, as we close in on 9 laps left to go here in this front pack. You got Cogdell, Callaway, Haas Beverly, Jake Bunjo, Josh Freed all fighting here. Again, I think they're trying to make this one as much of a fuel mileage race as they can, and you can see there the 42 of Kevin Winker jumping on to this group. The first car 1 lap down. He's going to try to get his lap back the hard way here, just in case something does happen here at the end. He's not playing on luck and the draw of the lucky dog. He's going to try to stay on up and get that lap back, so he has a shot to win it. Because again, like you said, English, earlier on, you just got to be on that lead lap for yourself to have a chance.
Yeah, Nick Gardner trying to give himself a chance, jumping down in front of Albert Anderson here, as him and Stoy were making a pretty good run there on the inside line in the secondary pack. Meanwhile, the State boys on the outside line trying to get some help from the 5 machine. That's Steven Naylor back there at Jack Daniels truck. Awesome paint.
And 7 laps to go now, definitely coming on down to crunch time. You can see some desperation start to be had as Cody Staten runs the fastest lap of the race here at 51.22 inside of that draft right now.
Excitement's starting to ramp up here, boys. About to get, what, 6 to go, 5 to go. It's coming down to it. 13 trucks still on the lead lap here.
And the 1 machine of Nate Cogdell doing all what it's worth, trying to drag these guys around. I think he might be thinking, you know what, I may not be able to get a win fuel strategy wise. It's just not working out, but I can do my part, try to pull these guys around, and hopefully one of these fellas can save a little bit of fuel and make it to this end. As you got Cogdell, Callaway, and Beverly last pitted on lap 23. So 27 laps. It's going to be tough trying to save essentially 3.5, 4 laps.
That's going to be rough. Adam, I don't know what you think about it, but yeah, what Brown was talking about there, the self-sacrifice maybe that some of these guys are doing out there, just saying, I'm just going to hold it wide open and tow these guys around. I mean, is that something you would ever do for me when we were teammates?
No,
I mean,
I'm not doing that.
You would never do that?
Well, I might brake check you and do something else to you.
Oh my goodness. What a teammate.
Well, I mean, you're the one that killed my race at Pocono.
Well,
I was having a good run.
That's what I was going to say. So before Pocono, you probably would. After Pocono, probably not.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That was the divide.
That was the breaking point in my racing career, actually.
It made you retire.
Yeah, I've had much more fun with both of you, talking to you, not racing with you. Albert said he had to dip out there. He was getting about to overheat there. So that's why they slowed down on that bottom line.
Yeah, well, he's also been, right up onto that back bumper of the 16. That normally when some of us are pushing, we're not necessarily right up on that bumper for that long, and we can get a little bit of air, but man, he, for at least 2 or 3 laps, he was leaving no more than a foot gap between himself and Gardner, and that was definitely starting to cause that engine to cook over just a little bit, but looks like he's now able to kind of break out, get a little bit of air, get those temps right back on down, and stay in this fight. As here comes that 42, Kevin Winker, all by himself on the outside lane here in this front group. Again, trying to get that lap back the hard way after his little turn in that he had. As here they come down a little bit late, I think. I think the chase pack has caught up just a little too much, but we'll have to see as the 12, coming in hot, locking the brakes up. Gonna have to watch out for that.
Real quick, Brown, they are Nate Cogdell is going to pit, so be careful. Watch out right here. It's going to get crazy, I think.
They're in pit road right now, buddy.
Oh, well, I must have lost my communication with my device. Oh, not on my screen, man. I don't know what's happening. No, iRacing is behind the times, eh?
And with 3 laps to go, you got Josh Freed working with the 42 and the 87 out here. One of your final cars that has yet to come on down for a final green flag pit stop. Is he going to make it here? He's just got to make it 2 more laps, and he is free and clear, and he's got 19 seconds. So as long as he can kind of stay in the draft, and you can see the 42 of Winker trying to break that draft. He doesn't want the 39 to win this. He wants one of his teammates like the Staten brothers to win this thing. He's trying to make sure that 39 wastes as much fuel as possible as they come back across the line for 2 laps left to go. In the chase pack here, we got a car down on the apron, allowing the drivers to erase this one on out as the 13 guides the 4 around on that bottom side. Up on the high side, the 16 of Nick Gardner. This is not what Nick wants to see. He doesn't want to see that 13 anywhere near him here tonight.
You see the 4 Stoy move up to try to block the progress of the 16, but him and Albert Anderson just move up 1 more lane. So here comes Josh Moore. So a lot of Team America reunited here again. Moore, the Staten brothers, they're right behind Stoy. And let's see, the 13 of Mark Beverly.
Even more so, the white flag is now out, so no cautions here tonight as the 39 of Josh Freed trying to go the distance here tonight, going into turns 1 and 2 with about a 13-second lead. Josh Moore and company trying to do their best to chase them on down. The 24 Andrew Hansley gets up into the outside wall with a little nudge, but he is okay to keep on running. The gap is down to 12 seconds, down to 11 seconds. It's getting close here, fellas. Does Freed have the fuel? He is officially out. He is coasting down through turns 3 and 4 as the field is starting to catch up down that back straightaway. Unfortunately, Freed running on out. Oh, as the 4 gets turned around back up onto the track. Oh, that causes absolute mayhem here as the 15 and the 51 get back together here through the exit of turn number 4, breaking out side by side. The 51 and the 15 drag racing down through to Trioval for the final time, and it will be the 51 picking up the race win over his teammate of Cody Staten, and Anderson finding his way home here in 3rd.
There's going to be a lot of stuff to break down on this last lap. We saw several incidents happen out there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
And well, one of the biggest things here is Mark Beverly still has yet to cross the line, and the longer that he doesn't, it's the more spots that's getting put between himself and Nick Gardner. Currently, the gap is about 10. Oh boy, oh boy.
He needs a pusher.
Oh, and he's got suspension damage. He can't get that truck to turn.
Oh,
and
no.
the engine just blew.
Wow.
So we'll have to wait to see the official call here when all the points have been added up. Again, I think Mark Beverly had enough points, but I don't know.
Ooh, the suspense.
This one is, yeah, it's in contention here.
I don't know if we'll even have the answer tonight.
Oh, we will. I know there's some people working hard behind the scenes to make sure everything gets all added up correctly. But the 51 Joshua Moore, even though not necessarily racing for the championship here tonight, finds his way on home, and he's gonna get some payday here as well. But even more importantly, battle for 11th between Josh Freed and Cody Staten. Cody Staten finishing in 2nd, where Josh Freed, running out of fuel, finishes in 12th. That gap was about 8 seconds, so I think the 15 of Cody Staten's going to get free entry into the next season.
That's a cool little program that they got set up to award consistency and race participation. I think it's a cool deal.
And that is true for a fact. Well, while the admins try to break this one on down, let's go ahead and talk to some of these drivers, and we can talk to tonight's third place finisher for the second time here this evening. It's the 329 of the America's driver, Mr. Albert Anderson. Long time no see here, buddy. And of course, you know, having a pretty good strategy sticking with Team America on those green flag pit stops, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I knew, you know, what was going to happen. I knew Team America was going to be there at the end. And, you know, if I wanted a chance at, you know, winning this or finishing on a podium, I was going to have to latch on to those guys. I'm sure they may not have been too happy about that, but it was clean. You know, we raced each other really clean, which I really appreciate. And it got crazy there at the end with a couple of wrecks, and started on a pole tonight and finished third on a podium. So overall, I think I had a good night.
Well, great racing out there, buddy. It was really great to see you run here in this series, and of course, we see you racing in a couple of the leagues as well. So, look forward to seeing you race some more here in the coming days and weeks. But great job picking up the third out there. Not an easy thing to do here in a pack racing type environment, but it seems to suit you.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy pack racing. I really enjoy restrictor plate racing. I get a big kick out of it. The hardest part tonight was not having any teammates. So the entire race, I'm thinking about what Team America's doing. You know, what I need to do to stay with those guys. How much fuel are they going to take? Are they going to take tires? And luckily, I was able to make the right decisions and stay latched onto their bumpers until the end. And it all worked out. Congratulations to Joshua Moore. That guy is always fast. So congrats to him for winning the race. And congratulations to that whole Team America. Those guys are definitely the standard in this league.
Yeah, and that was smart of you to just kind of blend in with them with that American flag. They probably just thought you were a teammate right there with that beautiful chrome American flag. It should say Bill Gates is a fraud on the back or something like that. But regardless, great seeing you out there. Good talking to you tonight. Give some shout outs.
Just, thank, my family and, the people who come out and watch me race. And thanks to Greg Turner and, Michael Newton and all those guys that put the league on. Thanks to the guys tonight for racing me clean. Nobody took me out, and we raced clean up until the last couple of laps. So I really, really appreciate that. You got to appreciate clean racing. And once again, congratulations to the league champion, Joshua Moore, all the Team America guys. And thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you Wednesday.
Awesome there, brother, man. Congratulations once again on the third place finish for America's driver, the 329 of Mr. Albert Anderson, with a solid finish here tonight, brother. We'll see y'all later.
All right, guys. Thanks. See you later.
All right, so gonna wait a minute and let other drivers to jump into that podium finisher chat to finish whatever discussions that they're having. But it was a fantastic race here tonight. Flag. Anytime you go flag to flag at Talladega, it always turns interesting. And normally we don't expect a fuel mileage thing to come out of it, but that's exactly what we got. Some interesting strategy calls there, and even the 39 Josh Freed, man, he tried to brave it, just running out of fuel on that final lap.
Yeah, sometimes you can just take a chance and see if you can make something work, and that's what he did there. And we've all been in that situation where we thought, let's try something a little different and try to stretch it, try to shoot for the fences,
And that was his only shot. If you'd have had, these things don't have real fuel gauges in them. You just kind of have to, it's a guesstimate right there at the end. So if he would have had maybe another quarter gallon of fuel, he'd have won this thing. I mean, it's just one of those crazy things that happen. Take a chance, gamble. I like what he did. I mean, you might as well go for it, right?
Right, as well as we go ahead and talk to tonight's race winner, That's going to be the 51 machine of Joshua Moore, the notorious pole award winner. Not getting the pole here tonight, but as close as you can pretty much get here tonight, Josh, from starting up there on the pole. Both you and Albert essentially kind of tied for that position, having to break it down to basically whoever has the best pixels on their machine, essentially. But picking up the race win here tonight with some great strategy calls there with Team America. And I know it was a pretty interesting race for you guys, basically playing chase pack the entire time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Heck of a lap by Albert to get past me there. Not used to starting in second here. Yeah, it was a really fun race. But I hate that me and Stoy got together there. I don't know if he turned down on me or if I got into him, but really sorry about that if I did. Yeah, great strategy. We always work together. We always work so well together as usual. But just a great finish to the season of a overall pretty great season.
Yeah, you and Stoy have raced together for a long time, so I'm sure that's something you guys can work out. But yeah, I always wait until after the race and go back and look at the replay and all that kind of stuff. But man, Team America, you guys had a great strategy, obviously, once again. But for a while there, y'all got caught nose to tail and kind of stuck in the outside lane. And I thought, this is what they normally do. Normally, they kind of split up and try to control both lines. But stuff happens out there on the racetrack at a race like Talladega, and you guys did the best you could, and still got most of your guys right there in the top five or so. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3 of y'all in the top 5.
Yeah, this league has a ton of great guys and a ton of fast guys. So we can't just run away with these things. So it's a lot of fun to race with all these guys. But we were able to take a 1-2 finish, and then it looks like Zach came in 5th, and then I don't know where Kevin ended up finishing up. I think he got wrecked.
11th. Yep.
Yeah. But I think it was a really fun, great race with everyone here.
No, it was a fun race. No cautions, man. What a clean race it was. Awesome job to finish this thing up. Who would you like to give some shout-outs to?
Of course, got to thank the rest of Team America. Got to thank Cody, Zach, Kevin. Those guys are so fun to run with week in and week out. Got to thank Bruce Spielberger. He's in the chat again tonight. I think I'm 3 for 3 with him being in the chat. Got to thank my parents for watching this. My girlfriend Mariah back there. She's in my dorm room. Oh yeah, this is my first race in college here.
Congrats, bud.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you. Got to thank the rest of the league for putting this thing on. These are so fun to do. This is probably the league I look forward to most each week. And then, of course, I got to thank you guys for broadcasting this thing.
Awesome,
Where
man.
you going to, man? So we can mention it.
I don't think he
Is he
heard
gone?
you there.
Is he gone?
No, I don't think he heard you. You got walked on.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, what school are you going to so we can mention it?
I'm going to the University of Olivet. It's
All that? Okay.
it's in Michigan, like 30 minutes away from Lansing.
Nice.
Very
Hope
nice.
that's near like that my 8 Mile where Eminem is, because that's where I'm
Oh,
gonna be.
come on.
I love me some Eminem and Kid Rock too, and Ted Nugent, man. Well, good luck to you in school, and I'm glad you got your victory here.
All right, thank you.
All right, so just I believe one more interview to get underway. Just waiting for him to finish on up. Talking
You're
with
such an old man, Adam.
Why?
An old man. Eminem, and Ted Nugent. These folks. Josh probably.
They're legends. They are giants.
That's
So,
true. And
I mean, yeah. I'm talking. I know Michigan. At least I know where they're from and stuff like that.
sure.
I'm kind of like a pop culture historian, is what I like to think of myself
Of
as.
Michigan.
Well, of anything. Well, I'm a champion at Michigan
Of
too. So
anything.
is Brown. Well, I guess Cody said, "Hey, man, second place. It's not first." I'm not talking.
Nah, they're having some discussions about how the race ended up and all that kind of stuff. Just trying to
see.
determine things where penalties may lie, that kind of stuff. Trying to figure things on out. So while we sit here and wait for Mr. Staten, we can go ahead and do our official final field rundown here. Tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up finishing here tonight, with the 51 of Joshua Moore picking up the race win, and teammate the 15 of Cody Staten having a drag race across the line, just coming up a little bit short there, finishing in second. But your hard charger of the race, though, up 7 spots there for Cody, so solid run there. 329 of America's Driver having a fantastic run out there as well, rounding out your podium here this evening. 16 of Nick Gardner. Oh man, he tried to do what he had to get up there here tonight, finishing that 16 machine in fourth. The 88 of Zach Staten having a pretty solid run here tonight as well, finishing inside that top 5. 4 of Eric Stoy was beating and banging his way down across the line, finishing here tonight in 6th, with the 34 of Jesse Calloway finding himself inside of this top 10 in 7th. 22 of Haas Beverly, the boss, getting things rounded out here in 8th, with the 64 of Cale Turbeville having a fantastic run as well, finding himself there in 9th. And the 1 machine of Mr. Nate Cogdell finding his way to a top 10 finish.
Yeah, Kevin Winker in the 42, not a typical finish for him, as he starts in 5th and finishes here in 11th place. Josh Freed in the 39 finishes here in 12th. Jake Bunjo in the 86 finishes your last truck on the lead lap here in 13th. The 14th place truck will be Mark Beverly in the 13. 24, Andrew Hansley the 4th. Started in 20th, ended up here in 15th place. Steven Naylor finishes 16th in the 5 machine. The 7th truck of Brett Summers finishes in 17th after starting outside row number 2. Frank Ranger, a little incident there between him and another driver there as the guys prepare to finish that last lap there. He'll finish in 18th place. 19th will be J.A. Burton in the 26th. The 87 of Jonathan Herbert will finish 20th. 21st will be Tyler Beverly in the 45 machine. And Michael Newton, our race controller here tonight. Thank you so much, Michael, for supporting this league and all the things you do to help make HCK Beagles Racing League one of the most fun ones to watch here on iRacing.
That indeed.
Sure.
Well, if we've got a little bit of a lull here, I'm going to take a little Yahtzee break myself, and I'll be
Well, no, this is where we go into like the crazy conspiracy stuff. And anybody want to talk about like aliens or anything? I mean, what's everybody want to talk about?
What we can talk about is, unfortunately, this is our last broadcast here for the HCK Beagles Racing League, and we've been partnered with them since 2020 when we first got started, and it's been one heck of a ride seeing this fantastic league grow on up from their humble beginnings. Just when we say, it started here at Talladega, it's where it started. The first at least season, maybe even 2 seasons, it was strictly super speedway racing, where they alternated between Daytona, Talladega, and iRacing Super Speedway, and that's how we really got to know the guys and got to see some fantastic racing. And then they started to branch on out to other tracks, and like this season, they had a fantastic full schedule of a full calendar of totally different types of tracks throughout the entire time. So it's been one heck of a ride seeing these guys grow, and unfortunately, we do call it quits here at the end of this one. But don't you worry, they do have another broadcaster all lined up for their next and upcoming seasons. Be sure to head on over to Peacemaker Gaming 47 over there on YouTube's to be sure to catch all that action. He's also live over on Kick at Peacemaker Gaming and on Twitch at Peacemaker Gamin. No G, just Game In. Be sure to be on the lookout for that one as they have a fantastic broadcaster, and hopefully get all the love that you guys have shown us.
I'm retiring. I mean, that's
You're
bottom
retiring.
line.
We still have
We're getting
other stuff to do. You can't
I
retire.
thought we were getting like a break or something. You know, like we do a lot. Believe it or not, you know, they think we're just a bunch of dummies, but we devote a lot of time to this for basically not much. So we just like to have fun, and we have had fun with these HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com guys. It's kind of sad to see it go, but hey, bigger and better things for them.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. As well, it looks like Cody Staten did indeed sign off.
Okay, well that must be a wrap for that.
So I guess yeah, I guess that is a wrap. So we, as always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching, having a fantastic time with us here tonight, and of course we look forward to seeing everybody on our future races. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And of course, if you enjoy any of the action, be sure to hit that thumbs up button as well, so that way you get alerted every single time that we go live. We also like to thank the proud supporters like tonight's race sponsor, there it is, Asphalt Outlaws Racing. Be sure to go check them on out if you're into the short track asphalt side of things here on iRacing. They do a fantastic job running that league over there, so be sure to go and check out Asphalt Outlaws Racing. Big thank you guys for sponsoring here tonight. Of course, we also have to say a final big thank you to the proud sponsors like Abruzzi Racewear. Be sure to go check them on out for all your race apparel needs. They've supported the HCK Beagles Racing League all season long. Big time thank you to you guys. Of course, big thank you to TrackDogsRacing.com there as well. Some fantastic merchandise and apparel all up for sale, all with your HCK Beagles Racing League and AAA broadcasting stuff available to purchase there. So thank you, Trek Dogs Racing. Of course, big thank you as well to Chiefland RC Raceway down there in Florida. Be sure to go check them on out for all your RC racing needs, and especially if you want to get into the hobby, or if you're already into it and just need a new place to run at, man, Chiefland RC Raceway is the place to go. Big thank you to those guys down there in Florida. Of course, we also have to say a huge thank you as well to Sonic Graphic Designs. Nate Cogdell doing a fantastic job on those paint schemes. We see each and every week some of these guys run, man. It's absolutely phenomenal stuff. Be sure to reach on out to them to get yourself a customized paint scheme here tonight. Big time thank you for the sponsorship here this season. And of course, as always, AdminBoxx there, the premier button box solution for race control and admins. Man, they do a fantastic job making those button boxes here just to make all their lives a little bit easier. I mean, it's a tough job being, race control already, and I mean, why not make it a little easier where you can do black flags, wave arounds, yellow flags, whatever you need to do all at the reach of your fingertips. Just makes it that much more simple. So big thank you to AdminBoxx for their sponsorship, and of course, sorry, getting distracted. Thank you guys for your sponsorship here for this season as well. So with that, I believe we are, we're out of here. I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We're signing off.
Go.
See ya.